Today I'm gonna show you how to go from a thin to a fat and warm mixdown. Yo, what is up guys, welcome to a new video. My name is Wildcrow and I want to say that I see the same problem in a lot of your songs, and it's that it sounds thin. But Wildcrow, what does thin mean? Well, when we say a song sounds thin, means that it has no body, and usually this body is the same as the warmth, and this warmth is usually in the mid-lows, mid-frequencies. When you don't have enough mid-lows, usually it sounds like in a bad quality. Well, actually, if you don't have enough highs, it sounds like bad quality, and also if you don't have enough lows and... well, but let's finish this intro and let me explain all of this and how to solve it with an example. I remade the drop of my song Can't Shake You, that if you want to check this in Spotify, it's not completely remade, but it has like the main sounds, leads and some drums and it sounds like this. But usually most of your songs sound like this. So as you can see, the difference is so big. The first one sounds warm, sounds fat, sounds full, and the second one sounds so thin, has like no body, as I said at the beginning. So how to solve this? Usually the biggest problems here are first the EQ and second the sound selection. So let's start with the EQ. With the EQ, the biggest problem that we usually have is that we do something like this. We do a low cut because somebody told us that we have to low cut to give a space to the chords or to the bass and the kick and those things. So basically what we do is, okay, we need to low cut, let's do something like this, and how much? Let's increase it. Oh, I'm gonna low cut around here because this way I give the space for the bass, you know, and we have more space for that sound. No. And also, as now sounds kind of thin, what we do is increase the highs. And maybe this way we try to solve the problems that we did before. You don't have to do this. First, in this case, in this particular sound, we don't need to increase the highs. But second, this low cut doesn't have to be that much. How much? My advice is to always go here and start increasing until you change the character of the sound. Here we're really changing the sound, so let's come back a little bit. And here is okay. So this way we do a low cut, we give a space to the sub and to the bass line, but we don't touch the character and we don't lose the warmth. So let's compare before and after. Changes a lot. We have the warmth and we have the fat sound. It's not thin anymore. So if you do this in all of the leads, in the end you have a really thin sound on the leads. But that's not only in the leads, it also happens in the chords. On the chords we have this sound. But somebody told us that we need to give a space to the bass line. So what we do is, okay, we do a low cut and we reduce here and maybe do something like this. And now as it sounds thin, let's increase here. Maybe this way it sounds a bit fatter or stronger. So we end with this harsh and thin sound. This was before, and this after. If you want to give a space to the bass line, what you should do is, okay, first do a low cut. How much? Well, let's check it. And then if we think that we need to give a bit more space to the bass line, just do something like this, not that much. But always checking also with the bassline, because maybe you don't need to give a space to the bassline because it already has enough space. And also sometimes our bassline sounds something like this. And we say, oh, it sounds nice, sounds present, it's kind of distorted, all of that. No, there's no warmth on it. And to show this, I use this EQ. Obviously, you probably don't have this EQ, but just to let you know how it sounds. And you don't want this, you don't want to boost here more than here. Basically what you want is like the opposite. Of course this is not how it should sound neither. But it should be closer to this than this. Because then if you boost here or if here you have too much energy, you take in the space of the leads and the chords. So first you shouldn't be boosting these high frequencies and then you should have more mid-lows. Maybe like this is okay, maybe just like this. But don't have a sound closer to this, because this is not good. So freaking hot. You know, you could subscribe because it's so hot right now and I'm recording this video for you to help you improve your mixes. So please, just click the subscribe button. So now that we have the problem of the EQ solved, we need to take care about the sound selection. There are some sounds that are better for the high, some sounds that are better for the mid, some sounds that are better for the low, some sounds that are better for the sides, for the center, all of this. So when you're layering sounds, you need to take care that some sounds need to give the warmth to the layer. If you go to the leads, as you can see, I have different kind of leads and each one is doing something, and this one, for example, is the main lead. that is warm and is good, but it needs some more warmth in my opinion. So that's why I have here the main lead number 2. As you can see, it's kind of similar, but especially what it has is more mid-lows. So for example, if we play them layer without this one, it sounds good, but when we add this sound, it's gonna sound warmer. But sometimes if it's needed, what I do is just take one lead that has really good mid-lows, filter it and put it in the center. This gives a lot of warmth and give a lot of body to the sound. So for example, I took this sound, I just did a low cut, so this way I cut all of this rumble sub bass, and then I cut all the highs to just have the mid-lows. I also put it in mono, so this way it sounds in the center and gives more strength there. So I'm gonna play the layer with this, but with a high volume so you can easily hear it. As you can see, it gives a lot of warmth and body. And if we put it to the right volume, and maybe you're thinking that it doesn't really fit in the layer, you know, the other sounds are like sounding like one and then there's this one apart. But when you play it in the drop with the rest of the sounds, you're not really gonna hear that difference, but it's gonna give that touch. And this happens with everything. We play with the chords, we have these ones more for the highs, and then we have this one that is a bit better for the lows. And if you go on the bass, it's gonna happen the same. We have, for example, this bass line. This is good for the sides and for the highs. We have this one that is quite good. It's like the main bass, like giving presence and so. But if we play only these two, it doesn't sound as warm as if we play all of them four. And why? What do we have here? Well, this one is just like this. As you can see, it's a bit warmer. And then this one is like a voice or something like this. That maybe by itself it's not that warm, you know, talking about fragrances, but gives a lot of warmth in the layer. But the EQing and sound selection is not everything. Sometimes with this you just solve it and it sounds warmer, sounds fatter, fuller and sounds good. But sometimes it's not enough. And for example, in this song happened this. It needed an extra synth, an extra touch to make it sound a bit warmer and fuller. So that's why I have this brass bass. And again, maybe the sound by itself is not really warm, but in the layer it does the job. So there's a drop without and with it. As you can see, it gives that extra touch to make it sound a bit warmer, and step by step you're solving the issues. And when you've done all of this, if you still think that you need an extra touch to make it sound a bit warmer, then is when some kind of noise effects come in. And what's the best one for the warmth? The crowd noise effect. If you put it really loud and we play with the drop, and this without. Obviously you don't need it that loud, but as you can see, it gives a lot of warmth and make it sound fuller and fatter. So well guys, this is it. Basically this is how you can solve a thin mix and make it sound fat and warm. Stop trying to boost the highs and bring more energy because of boosting the highs. Try to focus more on having clean and good mid-lows and mids. So well guys, this is it. I hope you like this tutorial. If you have any more tips about how to get a warm mix down, you know, put it down below in the comments. If this video helped you, don't forget to leave a like. Also subscribe so you don't miss any tutorial, any video, and you support me. Thank you so much guys for watching this video and see you in the next one.